Hello and welcome back to Talking Teens Official. I'm Narelle and I'm so excited to be back in your listening ears. Happy New Year and welcome to Season 4. Things feel different. Something's in the air. Something exciting is coming. We took a break over the holidays to recharge, but now reality is starting to hit. If you are listening to this in real time, especially in Australia, you know exactly what is looming. Term 1. The holidays are over, the sleeping in until midday is going to be over soon, and the endless days of gaming and beach trips are about to come to a screeching halt. And if you are a parent, you might be feeling that familiar tension in your chest. You know what's coming. The first morning when the alarm goes off at 7 a.m. or 6:30. The uniform that suddenly doesn't fit or it can't even be found. The sheer resistance. Now I want you to pause here for a second because I know that for some families, this isn't just about getting organised. For families dealing with school refusal or deep anxiety, this time of year is incredibly heavy and it feels like a minefield. So in this new season of Talking Teens Official, we are getting practical. We are looking at the daily realities of connection, those high pressure moments in the day, and giving you the tools to navigate them with less friction. I'm going to keep this season very practical for you all. And the first reality of 2026 is the return to school. If you are listening to me on the other side of the world, you're already back at school, so keep this in your pocket for when you actually return. And today I'm going to give you a game plan. We're going to look at how to gently reset their body clock, how to handle the morning chaos, and something that only a teacher would tell you, why your kid might be deliberately leaving their new books at home or in their locker just to look cool. So let's look at the first part of our game plan, if you like. We have to talk about the physical reality of the holidays. For the last 6 weeks, your kid has been living in a different time zone. They've been staying up late. They've been gaming. They've been watching TV, watching movies all night. And then they are sleeping until midday. My daughter actually just woke up and it's almost midday. And now as parents, it's easy to look at that and think they are so lazy. They don't do anything. And I want them to get out there and do a bit more. But I actually want to stop you right there. Because it's actually a biological reason. It's a physical reason why they do that. During adolescence, their circadian rhythm naturally shifts. Their brain doesn't release melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, until much later at night than yours does as an adult. So when they are awake at 1 a.m. and are asleep until 11 or 12 in the next day, they aren't being difficult. They're just growing. And if we keep calling our kids lazy for something that their biology is doing, you're just creating shame. You're not going to change anything. However, school starts around 8:30 or 9 a.m. Biology or not, we have to get them there. So how do we reset that clock after our long school holidays? This is for the kids and parents who need a gentle transition. You treat it like you're adjusting to a new time zone. It's a little bit like jet lag. Starting a few days before school, you gently pull bedtime and wake-up time back by about 30 minutes every day. And to make this work, there are 3 different levers that you need to pull. The first one you need to do is create more light, sunlight, that is, not artificial light. Open the blinds immediately when they wake up or when you wake them up, because sunlight tells the brain that the day has started. You need to wake up. That's the first one. The second thing you can do is actually get them a bit more exercise. A lot of kids tend to be a little bit more sedentary during the school holidays, so they also need to be physically tired, not just mentally tired. Get them moving during the day. Get them out there. Just tell them to go out for a walk or ride their bike or hit the gym. Being physically tired will actually help them sleep better. The third thing that I want you to do is actually the technology, which a lot of us are already aware of, but as adults, sometimes it's hard even for us to pull away from that. So the technology, the blue light from screens actually tricks the brain into thinking it's daytime. Try to dim the screens an hour before the new bedtime. And a lot of screens now actually have that blue light filter built in, or they have a nighttime kind of screen kind of look to them if you just flick to that. That option is actually the slow, gentle option, and it might work for some people. But I have to be honest with you, there's another option, and it's cold turkey. This is the one that I use in my house, and I'm going to be completely honest here. It doesn't work for everyone. My husband always wanted to start the routine about, like option 1, about 2 weeks early. Even for me, when I was going back to school, he would tell me, you need to start going to bed earlier, at least 2 weeks before school went back. But I know what I'm like, and I know what my kids are like. This was just not going to happen. I would milk the holidays, and I'm still milking the holidays until the very last second. So we rip the Band-Aid off. We accept that the first Monday is going to be brutal. We know there will be grumpiness, but sometimes just ripping off the covers and forcing the routine back into place is another way to shock the system back online. Neither way is wrong. The only mistake is expecting them to bounce out of bed smiling, because it's not going to happen if you're just ripping the Band-Aid off. So whether you slide or rip, expect the grogginess. Expect them to be a little bit grumpy and unhappy about waking up early. Validate the biology, but get them up anyway. Just say, yeah, I know it's going to be tough. Monday's going to be tough. So we just still need to get them to school. Now, let's have a chat about the actual morning rush. This is where the tension usually explodes. And honestly, the big enemy here isn't just an attitude in the morning. It's actually disorganization. The anxiety of returning to school often manifests in that frantic morning panic. Where's my shoes? I can't find my laptop charger. Do I have sports today? Where's my uniform? And when a kid starts their day in that state of chaos, their cortisol spikes before they've even had breakfast, a piece of toast. They are walking into school already stressed and already frazzled and already feeling behind. This can cause the I don't want to go meltdown. So the game plan here is about reducing the cognitive load in the morning. So my suggestion for this, to beat that morning rush and to stop everyone feeling actually really frazzled and stressed in the morning, is to kind of just put it out there that the morning is for execution, but the night is for preparation. Think of it as being launch ready. And you probably do this a little bit as an adult too. And you probably tell your kids to get their school bag ready the night before. But it's the only way that you are going to stop that morning hectic rush. So maybe you just need to help them. So what it means is, it means getting everything ready the night before, or at least knowing where everything is. The uniform needs to be out so that you know if a shirt's missing, if your school has a uniform. The laptop needs to be charged, and it needs to be in the bag or next to the bag. The timetable is checked. And if they aren't launch ready before they go to sleep, turn off the Wi-Fi or whatever currency works in your house for your kid. And this is where the phones come in. When my kids were younger, we had a strict rule: no phone in the morning until you were ready. So put your phone away, get everything ready, and once you are ready, almost bum on seat in the car, then you can go on your phone. But as they got older and the phone became their school diary, we kind of had to shift that a little bit. So we kind of shifted it to, you need to check the timetable first thing in the morning, check any changes, put it back on the charger, and then go get ready. So they can check their timetable quickly on their phone, but then the phone stays down until they are dressed, fed, and the bag is packed. By removing the disorganization, you remove the panic. And when you remove the panic, you make it much easier for them to actually walk out the door, and it makes the start even to your day much smoother. So now I want to give you a little insider secret from behind the classroom door that most parents miss. It's the first day of school, and you've bought all the books, you've bought the new stationery, you've bought the calculator, and you've actually spent a small fortune on all that stuff. And then you send them off on their merry way to school, all bags packed, all equipment in check, ready to go. But your kid walks out the door and their bag might look suspiciously light, Or maybe they're just holding their laptop or their iPad and an apple. You might think, oh, maybe they don't need much on the first day. I want to tell you something. Check their bag. There is a very specific social dynamic that happens in high schools. Bringing everything can make you look like a try-hard or, as my kids say, a nerd. But bringing nothing, that makes you look effortless and makes you look cool. Or sometimes it's just a way of testing the waters to see what they can get away with their teacher. And I want to tell you a little story about that. I had a student recently, and I'll just call him Jack, who walked into my class on day one with nothing but a laptop under his arm. And this is a maths class, remember. He had no pen, no books, no textbook, just the laptop and a big cheesy smile. Now, he didn't know that I actually taught his older brother, and I already knew his mum. I'd met her a couple of times. And I knew for a fact that she had bought every single item on the book list. So I looked straight at him when he walked through the door and I said, hey, buddy, I know your mum bought you everything you need. You cannot walk into my room with just a laptop. Go back to your locker and get your books. And he looked absolutely shocked. He was surprised, one, that I knew his name, but mostly surprised that his bluff didn't work. But here's the thing. He wasn't being malicious. He was just being a little bit cheeky and he was just testing the boundaries. Don't let them bluff you. So that's my advice. Don't let them bluff you. If their bag is empty, ask the question, do you actually have your books that you need for today, or is it sitting in your locker? If they say, I don't need it, they're probably trying to pull a Jack on you. Remind them that looking cool is great, but having a pen is better. Be a little bit cheesy about it. And remind them that their teachers know when they're faking it. Finally, I want to actually have a chat about the emotional reality of going back to school. That Sunday dread, that I don't want to go, that sick feeling in their stomach, when your kid says to you that they are anxious about going back, your instinct might be to fix it and say, don't be silly, you'll be fine. You've got friends, you'll be fine. But dismissing it actually doesn't make it go away. Here's the truth. Anxiety is normal. It's a normal human reaction to the unknown. And I tell my students this all the time, and they never believe me at first. What I say to them is that, did you know teachers get nervous too on the first day? Every single year, on the night before school goes back, I have those same butterflies in my stomach. Teachers are a little bit scared too, and it doesn't matter how long we've been doing it for. We just know that it's normal to feel nervous still during the first day of school. We're always thinking, I'm looking at a sea of 25 fresh faces thinking, what are the class dynamics going to be like? Have I prepared enough? Is my first lesson engaging enough? I don't want to lose them on day one. For us, it's the unknown too. So tell your kid that. Tell them that it's okay to be nervous. Believe it or not, even your teachers are nervous tonight too. And they're sitting there having the same thought as you. I don't want summer to be over. I don't want to go to school tomorrow, but I have to. And everyone is in the same boat. And then give them a simple reframe. We know that physical feeling of anxiety, that racing heart, the butterflies in your tummy, it's actually almost identical to the feeling of excitement. The body is actually just getting ready for something big that it knows it's coming. So you can ask them, are you actually really scared, or is it just your body reacting to knowing there's a big day coming up? Just validate it, normalize it, and remind them that everyone, even the person at the front of the room, i.e. the teacher, is feeling it too. And finally, there is one last piece of this game plan on the back to school game plan. And we've covered the morning, but we have to talk about what happens when they walk back in the door after school, because it always ends up in a little bit of an afternoon crash. There's a lot that goes on after school when they come home from their first day. Your kid has just spent 6-7 hours holding it all together. They have navigated the social dynamics, the new teachers, the new classes for some of them, the new rules that have been set up or explained. and the sheer exhaustion of having to sit still. Their brain is fried. The cortisol is high, and they are probably starving. They're probably hungry. But as parents, we are excited and we want to know everything. So when they walk in the door and we immediately launch into the interrogation, how was it? How was your first day? Who's your teacher? Do you like them? Do you have any homework? Did you see your friends? What happened? What did you do? Did you learn anything? 9 times out of 10, you will get a grunt or a snap or an explosion. They might just go into their room and shut the door. So here's my advice. Remember, they're hungry. Feed them before you question them. Have a snack ready if you're home, or have something out for them to eat. Don't interview them in the hallway. Let them walk in. Let them drop their bag. Let them eat. Give them 30 minutes of decompression time, even if that means they go straight to their room and scroll on their phone and just chill out for a bit. I know that you do it too when you come home from work. You need a few minutes to chill out too. What makes you think your kids are any different? They need to lower their cortisol levels too. They need to switch off from school mode and settle back into home mode. And if you give them that space, if you feed the beast and let them breathe, you will find that 40 minutes later, they might actually come out of their room and tell you about their day. But if you push for it the second they walk in the door, you're going to get nothing. So let's bring it all together in true teacher style. I will recap. We are entering the first hotspot of the year, which is the return to school. And I've just given you a little bit of a game plan to handle it. If there's something in there that I haven't actually covered or a question that you have, please just pop it in the comments and I'll answer it. First, we looked at the body clock, and we know that there is this teenager time. That is biological. It doesn't make them lazy. Whether you choose the slow slide or the cold turkey approach like I do, the goal is to reset their rhythm before Monday morning. The second thing we did is we tackled the morning rush. We agreed that the morning is for execution and the night is for preparation. So being launch ready the night before reduces the chaos and the anxiety. Third, we talked about the cool factor. Don't be fooled by the empty bag or the I don't have to take anything on the first day. They do. I'm telling you, they do. They need a pen and a paper at bare minimum. Check that they actually have their books, even if they don't think they need them. They do. Fourth, we normalize the anxiety. I reminded you that even teachers get nervous on day one, and it's not fear. It's about getting ready for the day. That energy is being channeled for you to get ready. That's anxiety. And the last thing that we spoke about was that we planned for the afternoon crash. We know that we need to give them a little bit of space to decompress when they walk through that door. Feed them and let them decompress before you ask to see their highlights reel of the day. I want to leave you with one final thought about success this year. We all have the goal of a calm morning. Every parent and every kid wants a stress-free first day back. But wishing for it doesn't make it happen. You don't get the mornings you want, you get the morning you prepare for. Your systems, just like the Launchpad and the body clock reset, are what determine your success for a good morning, not just your intentions. So don't just hope for a good term one, build the system that makes it impossible for it not to happen. That's it for our first episode of season 4. If you know a parent who is dreading going back to school this year already, or they are stressing about the uniforms and the wake-up plans, please share this episode with them. Let's get everyone in on the same game plan. And if you need more hands-on help, don't forget to join my school community, Talking Teens Official. I'll pop links in the notes, and we are having some great conversations in there, so I invite you to join. And if you really appreciate and really like what's going on here, don't forget, you can buy me a coffee. Again, those links will be in the show notes. Good luck with the first day back. You've got this. And until next time, remember, connection over correction. I'm Narelle, and this is Talking Teens Official.